oaken bucket?
Say it one more time.
What's an old oaken bucket?
Old oaken bucket?
What is it?
They said they created like 127 years ago, and like I forgot the story. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, just playing a rival. I mean, I know you're not from here, but you played a rivalry game before. What that means?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Odom, he's been talking about it all week and last week, and this is my team now, so I have to treat it the same way. You know what I mean? So it's a rivalry for Purdue, and that's a rivalry for me too. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I know what it means to the fans. I know how much history has gone into this game. So I'm gonna treat it just like how everybody else is treating, how the fans are treating.
You guys came here this season to sort of start building something, obviously, for the future, as much as this season for yourselves too, but to get something started. Where does Saturday play into that? Like, it's the last chance to, I guess, make a statement about what you guys did this season.
I think Saturday is huge, with it being the last game. We really want to, carry that momentum in for next year, especially with, this is the biggest game of the year for us. And so, a win over IU would be tremendous, for the turnaround of this program.
Have you put into your mind yet that this is it for you?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was coming. College ball got to end at some point. But my focus is on this week, attacking this week, and attacking IU, and trying to send the guys out the right way and just finishing.
What have you seen from Ryan and Malachi in practice the last 2 weeks?
I think it's just a more sense of urgency. Really trying to focus in on the details, trying to limit the mistakes, and they're being like really hard on themselves. Trying to make sure that they're executing well, and they don't expect anything less than that. So it's been good to see those guys really locking in this week.
What would the offense work on this during the off week, the bye week?
Really just execution. I think that's one of the big things that we need to fix. Just executing the plays that we run over and over again. And I think that's what we've been doing, a lot of repetition. And just making sure that everybody knows what they're doing. If we mess it up, we run it again. We're not doing it. We're not going to move on until it's perfect. So I think that's the main thing.
When the season is over, the staff's going to be looking for the next Michael Jacksons and Manny Powells to come in here. What's your message to those players? Like, what did you get out of this season? And for those players who are going to look at this and see the records from the last 2 years, what would you tell them about what this can be?
It's so much potential here. Obviously it's hard to turn it all around in 1 year, but Coach Odom has a great foundation in place, and he's bringing the right things to this school. So I think they just have to come in and buy in. It's all about taking care of your business, executing for yourself and for the team. And so just really trusting Coach Odom's plan and just going out there and making the most of every opportunity that you get.
This season make you a better football player? They put a lot on your plate. Being a return man, throwing you the ball quite a bit. Kind of made you the go-to guy.
Yeah, I think just like you said, being that go-to guy, being the guy that has to do multiple things for the team. I think that in itself made me better. It just made I wanted a lot on my plate. I wanted that that burden, that pressure. So it's gonna help me in my future. When I do have that pressure again, or if I gotta go and kick return, punt return, or be the go-to guy. That's something I've already done. So.